area. Some light showers out there right now out toward Lovelock and stretching from Lovelock down toward Austin this morning. Just a few spotty showers, but these will increase in intensity and coverage throughout the day today as a low pressure system begins to move on in. Here's what we're looking at by this evening through Saturday. Snowfall amounts will range from about 3 to 6 inches around the Lake Tahoe Basin. Above 7,000 feet, we could see 6 to 12 inches in the high Sierra. And as far as the western Nevada's Nevada valleys go, 1 to 3 inches possible, but it's going to be kind of hit or miss depending on where these snow bands set up. So you may not see anything at all, but you may see a couple inches of snow by tomorrow morning and throughout the day on Saturday. So out there right now, 37 in Lovelock. We have 36 in Fallon. So it won't be a bad day today. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll be back up in the low 50s for highs. Winds will pick up a little bit by this afternoon. The average high is 54, and as we wrap up February, we actually did pretty good precipitation-wise. We've had about 1.21 inches of rain. Remember that? That was in the beginning of this month, and that's about 1/4 of an inch or so above average for the year. So low pressure will move in throughout the day today. Look out for some scattered showers by this afternoon. A little breezy as well, 15 to 30 mile-an-hour winds, and then those snow levels begin to drop by tonight into Saturday. So we'll talk about all of that, break down your forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes. Have a great Friday. Andy and John, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jeff. New this morning, an early morning fire has displaced 3 people on 4th Street. It happened just before 3:45. Reno Fire Department was called out to a fire on East 4th Street near Morial Avenue. Reno Fire Department says 3 people were living inside the structure, 2 adults and a child. Investigators are trying to determine the cause of the blaze and why people were living inside a commercial structure. Crews contained the blaze to the garage at the property. The rest of the building suffered minor smoke damage.
Turning to the Nevada legislature this morning, an assembly committee is hearing one of the more controversial bills this session. It's Senate Bill 119. It's already passed the Senate, but its supporters have a much bigger battle ahead of them to get it through. The bill would suspend the state's prevailing wage rules on school construction. Senator Ben Kiefer says letting the free market determine wages would lower costs, he says, by as much as 30%, but critics say the savings would be closer to 5%. If passed, school districts could issue new bonds to pay construction costs.
Washoe County and Clark County across our state, there's nothing more important than providing a safe and stable learning environment for our kids, and this does that, and it does more of it with the same amount of money.
But laborers marched to the Capitol building yesterday in protest. They say a suspension of prevailing wages means they'll be taking a pay cut. In Nevada, workers are paid prevailing wages for state-sponsored projects.
And we're nearly halfway through the tax filing season, but if you're one of the millions of taxpayers who wait to file, there are a few deadlines and some changes that you should be aware of. The biggest one is the Affordable Care Act. This is an interview that Ariana did. This is the first year that insurance deductions are going into effect for people who buy it through the marketplace. At the same time, also the first year that people are seeing penalties if they did not enroll.
That is one of the biggest issues that we're seeing this year is people are having to pay some of that money back. Or if you just didn't have insurance, then you're paying penalties on not having insurance at all.
Many taxpayers may not realize that the penalties they pay for not having insurance are actually taken out during tax filing. And if you've underestimated your income and ended up paying less for insurance coverage, you may have to make up that difference.
In Health Watch this morning, small companies are beginning to realize the real impacts of Obamacare. If you have just a handful of employees, it can be difficult to decide whether to cut profits and offer health insurance or take the tax penalty. OrthoPro, it's a company, falls into that category. The Affordable Care Act meant new insurance programs that penalize those over 50, which half of their employees are.
And I'm saying to them, gosh, I really hate to put you in this situation, but now the choice is yours. Do you want to have insurance? If you want to have insurance, we have to take $90, $100 more out of your paycheck every time, and you get less benefits.
Well, that's what they say, and they're still trying to figure out the best way to deal with it, but they say they hope to see reform come to health insurance rather than health care. In Money Watch this morning, it's a new development in a very old part of Reno.
This is pretty cool. Now, a company called Urban Real Estate Investments, they focus on using existing buildings and turning them into thriving properties. And they now have a new project, and Landon Miller's going to tell us all about it.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. There are 3 different buildings here at the intersection of 10th and Virginia Streets right near the University of Nevada, Reno campus. And beginning Monday, they'll be transforming these buildings into brand new businesses.
One is a garage, another is a home, and there's even an old psychology office.
It's kind of been hidden for a while.
But soon, this space at 10th and Virginia Streets will be transformed. Soup is opening a second location at the site, while the Hub Coffee Roasters is opening a fourth. 2 other businesses will call this place home soon, too. About 8,000 square feet in all in a prime location.
Great accessibility for the students, professors, professionals in the area without having to drive on site.
This new project is called Urban University. Patty Egan and Joe Udvari own Urban Investments, a real estate company that puts tenants in older locations. They're the guys behind Urban Riverside, the shopping area near the Truckee River.
We get to come into some of these buildings that are, 80, 90 years old, that have that history, have the character.
But instead of demolishing and building new, they embrace the history of each site.
So what we're able to do is go in, revamp, repurpose, bring tenants, retail tenants in that bring the community back into these properties.
And if anyone is a believer in the idea, it's this guy, Mark Truio, owner of the Hub Coffee Roasters. He's excited to be opening a 4th urban site.
Back then it was like, boom, we're just going to tear this place down, we're going to make it our own. Well, you can make it your own by keeping it the same.
Yeah, and you see this building here, this was actually built in 1930. Another building, Riss, on the other side was built in the 20s, so they're definitely old structures. By the way, they're still looking for one more tenant to fill about 1,000 square feet of the new site. The Hub, by the way, will be opening on June 1st. Covering Money Watch Live on Virginia Street, Landon Miller, Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Landon. Some exciting changes there. Also in Money Watch, the Nevada Gaming Commissioners have voted to approve a deal for Italian lottery maker G-Tech to acquire slot machine giant IGT. The new company will continue to bear the IGT name. And the deal involves $4.7 billion in cash and stock and $1.7 billion in debt. GT is working to delist itself from Italy's stock exchange and will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange as IGT.
And gambling regulators voted to allow Silver State sportsbooks to offer bets on the Olympics. Revised regulations allow the Gaming Commission chairman to limit the bets at their discretion. Wagering on the Olympics has been banned for more than a decade. The next Olympic Games will be the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro next year. I never understood why they stopped the betting on the Olympics in the first place. It's not like you can get the fix in with some guy in Romania. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. But it will be fun to bet on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Next, I want to bet on the weather.
Oh.